How do you speak to those individuals who perpetually make excuses in order to remain exactly the same or exactly as they are? How do you speak to them directly in order to get motivated, to get fit, to get healthy? Welcome guys. So we just completed an excellent workout. Today we're sitting with Thaabit Davids, and he's basically taking me through an exercise workout that focused on shoulders. So I just have a couple of questions for him. Obviously it was excellent. We also worked with Munib, and he also put us through our paces. Couple of questions, Thaabit. Firstly, thanks for meeting up with us.
Not a problem.
And really appreciated the fact that you have a very purist approach to your training, and that obviously put me through my paces. First question, what inspired you or drove you towards fitness, and obviously what perpetuated your approach to continue training in the manner that you do?
Okay, well, Abdullah, a couple of years ago I was at my heaviest. I weighed approximately 132 kilos. I've never weighed that much in my life, and literally I woke up one morning and I decided I don't want to be like this anymore. I was unfit. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. I was unable to pick up anything. And that exact same day, I went to the gym and I opened up a contract. I've been training ever since. It's been on and off. Obviously, life happens, things happen, you know, the usual. So what I ideally want to do is to maintain this approach I have in order to stay healthy, in order to stay capable of doing the things that I do day to day.
Okay, so zoning or honing in on that exact point, you mentioned a couple of things, obviously one of which is life happens. Obviously we know that goals get initially created or drafted in a manner that usually inspires us through looking at someone else, etc. But then we obviously take a reapproach to those exact goals by virtue of how it accommodates for our daily lives.
Yes.
So you mentioned that there were certain ups and downs. How did you continue maintaining that goal or that set of goals in order to continue with, like you said, health?
Basically what happened was, initially my first goal was just to lose weight, because 132 for anybody is too much, and I'm not that tall of a guy. I'm like 1.7 odd, so 132 at 1.7, your BMI is through the roof. I was basically diagnosed clinically obese at the stage, and that was completely bad for me. Started dieting, the usual, what we all do: chicken, broccoli, rice, for
the fun stuff,
the great stuff, the great tasting stuff, steamed everything. And that's taught me to lose weight. And obviously, as you reach your goal, as you train more, you sort of see your body start to take shape, and you see your body start to change. And that sort of pushes you to do more and do better. We all have that time in our lives where things happen. I mean, I tore my rotator cuff last year in November. I was out for 2 months, and yes, it put me through a depression in the sense that I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to do anything. All I was doing was walking around, and your diet goes through the window. You eat basically everything, takeouts, fast food, just to get you on that high again. And eventually what happens is we all need to come to terms at that moment in time. We all come to that point in our lives when we as ourselves decide, I need to better myself. I need to become healthier. I need to become better. So what happened was, in the beginning of the year in January, yes, we all had New Year goals. And with me, it was the first time I ever had a New Year goal. And I said, I will be losing weight again. I will be becoming more toned. I will be able to pick up muscle. The best I ever was probably 3 years ago. And you know, we trained together back in the day. I weighed at 88 kilos at about 16% body fat, which for me was brilliant, coming from a 28-30% body fat. And then obviously as the years progresses, work happens, kids happen, family happens. You know, your gym life, your fitness life sort of takes a bit of a hold, but it's not gone completely.
Just to interject, I mean, that is exactly it. I think you can echo exactly what I wanted to ask you as the next question, which would have been, as the goalpost shifts, how do you then remotivate, or for that matter, how do you adjust the goal to accommodate exactly where you envisage yourself to be for that specific goal?
Look, training never stops. You can never reach that goal you actually ever want to be. I mean, you know, people train for 20 years, 30 years because the goals are never met. Or not the goals are never met, the goals constantly changes. And we as people that want to train and be healthy, our goals change. And our goals change with our lives that we have.
Awesome. And I think this echoes also for many of the dads, the uncles. Sometimes we find ourselves that we are so stricken with responsibility that we kind of overlook ourselves and we shy away from investing in ourselves. So I think that is an excellent point made relative to, you know, shifting the goal relative to your responsibilities and what you need to do on a day-to-day basis. Then the last question. Okay, so to tie it all in, what would you advise others who are in a similar to the same situation that you find yourself in a day-to-day basis of responsibility as a dad, as a working individual, etc., with many responsibilities? How do you speak to those individuals who perpetually make excuses in order to remain exactly the same or exactly as they are? How do you speak to them directly in order to get motivated, to get fit, to get healthy?
Look, there are never any excuses for training. You need to look after yourself first. Yes, life happens. Like I said, kids, father, all that sort of things happen. For example, you want to train at 5 o'clock. But come 5 o'clock, your kids are sleeping, your kids need to eat, or you need to do X, Y, and Z. So now instead of going to gym 5 o'clock, it starts hitting 6:30. But you can't go at 6:30 because the kids need to sleep at, say, 8 o'clock. So your time is completely thrown out. So what you need to do, you need to find that gap to train. Whatever free moment you have, I mean, you only need 45 minutes to an hour. So if you cannot train, for example, today, but tomorrow you know you can train during lunchtime, you take that opportunity to train in order to make sure that you look after yourself and you keep your health in check.
I mean, I couldn't have said it any better, and I don't think anyone else could have said it any better, that if it is important, if it is priority to you,
You'll find a way.
Thaabit, I want to thank you once again for accommodating me.
No problem, anytime.
Cool, bro.
Shot, man.